I'm back in the classroom. What's going on, Rockstars? I'm back. I know it's been a few days now since I've actually uploaded. I do apologize. Life, guys. I was in Connecticut for a little bit. I started a new job. I'm a preschool teacher again. I'm back in the classroom. And that's what we're going to get into for this video. Before you get any further, make sure you stop. You click the subscribe button. You tell a friend. They tell a friend. Everybody becomes a rock star. Everybody around these parks are happy. So, I'm back in the classroom. And I know I said in a previous video, the situation had to be right and had to call for me to be back in the classroom. Let's just say the money was right, the hours were right, the benefits were right, the admin team was right. So I'm for now back in the classroom. But for this video, I don't really bring exciting news. Now, for those of you who know, I worked with a previous company for about 9 years, give or take. And I always used to complain about my pay. Like, when I tell y'all, I hated how much money I was being paid because I wasn't being paid enough for what they were requiring of me. Now, for those of you who don't know or are new to the channel, I live in New York City, which in itself is expensive. Like that video will be something completely different. But daycare teachers are not paid a lot. Now, when I started in the field, I was making roughly, how much did I start with? I believe I started out with about 10, 25, give or take, right? Now, at the time, I was fine with what I was being paid. I was young, fresh out of college, and you know, I really didn't care because I was working from like 7 in the morning till 6:30 every night. So the pay didn't matter because the hours were there. I noticed my pay wasn't worth anything the minute I got transferred and my hours got cut. I then got bumped up, I don't know, what do you want to say, 25 cents. And the director at the time asked me, she was like, you didn't notice you got a pay increase? I'm like, pay increase? Where? How? It was all 25 cents. I then became a head teacher and they bumped me up about $5. So now I'm making about 15 something, which again is okay. So keep in mind, at the time too, the minimum wage in New York, I believe, was about $10 or $11. So I was making well above minimum wage. Still, absolutely, when you live in New York, the cost of living is so high. I'm getting to a point though, folks, so just bear with me. I'm getting to a point. I'm getting to the actual point of this video. When I then left that center and went to another one, they bumped me up another $4. So then I was making about 19 something an hour. Cool, right? Now, you guys know a lot of my story times now are coming from this Facebook group that I'm in. And the other night, it pained me to see how much a lot of these teachers in this group was making. I will never complain about my pay again. Being a teacher right now, in the times we're in, I'm not going to complain about what I'm currently making because it's triple what some of these girls are making. And it was mind-blowing. So, let's just jump into it. Now, I'm not going to put anybody's names. I'll post some of the screenshots as I'm reading them, but I'll block out the people's names because this is ridiculous. By the way, you guys like my little fugazi manicure that I did with my press-on nails? I'm going to take these off as soon as I'm done with these videos. All right, so now I don't remember how the initial conversation started. It was on a post, and I believe the young lady was asking, like, you know, is it worth me staying for this pay? And then everybody started commenting what they either were making or what they're currently making. A lot of these people were commenting what they're currently making. And let me tell y'all, it couldn't be me. I would not be in field then if that's the case. So we have one teacher that said, I'm a lead teacher in, I'm assuming this is LA. It could be Louisiana. I feel this might be Louisiana because there's no way in California I'm thinking you're making this much. She said, I'm a lead teacher in LA, so we're going to say Louisiana, with my certification, and I only make $10 an hour, and that's their max pay. I can't tell y'all the last time I made $10 doing anything. Another person goes, lead teacher with a BS degree and a paraprofessional certification, making $11 in Georgia. How? Why? Okay. Another young lady goes, what? I make $9.50 an hour and I have my credentials. Now, let's put that on pause real quick. So, with some daycares, in order to, be considered a head teacher, you have to have certain qualifications. Now, for infants and toddlers, the qualifications are not that high. The most they kind of want you to really have is either an associate's or a CDA. I came into the company with my associates, so I was already a little ahead of the curve when I got hired by my first daycare job. Now another young lady goes, I make $8. I have to assume this is Louisiana because I cannot believe LA would be paying this. So this has to be the abbreviations for Louisiana. She said she makes $8 as a lead teacher for after school kids. Y'all, come on. $8. So, okay, so the person who made the initial post lives in Minnesota because someone else commented, said, isn't minimum wage in Minnesota like $10? I would expect that you're close to your pay cap. Your pay for daycare is on the higher side. Living in America is expensive. I don't get why people still want to come here. Like, if I was from another country, I would not want to come live in the United States. So I was just so shocked by what some of these people were saying. Like, I think I was probably the highest paid person, like teacher-wise, on this post. Another person goes, I make $11.50 and currently taking my CDA to become a lead infant teacher. Another person, I'm assuming she's a director, she said, I pay $15 an hour to my assistant teachers and $14 to a breaker. So a breaker in layman's terms would be like your floaters or your subs that come in and they move between classrooms. Someone else said, I made $12. I just have a high school diploma and I'm going for my CDA. Another young lady goes, I'm a lead teacher and the director. So I'm assuming she's the director for the component. And she just makes $10 an hour. Another young lady goes, I make $14.25 as a lead teacher in a big chain daycare in Minnesota. I live in Tennessee. I have my high school diploma and I make $12 an hour. This is the one that did it for me. Y'all are not ready for this. Like, I hope you're sitting down watching this. Someone goes, I have a master's in education and I'm the lead and I make $10 an hour. Excuse me? $10 an hour and you have a master's degree? I'm gonna move along. Someone goes, I'm in Florida and I make $9 an hour. Another person goes, I make $11.75 with an associate's degree and I have an infant and toddler certification working on a bachelor's and I am the lead toddler teacher. This one also threw me off. Someone says, I'm a director in Texas and I make $11 an hour. Now, do you see why you can't really, like, if you live in New York, you can't really go anywhere else because you're so used to the money you make here. And you go somewhere else and you're like, how are you alive? Like, how are you surviving, bro? Like, $10 an hour and you're a director? When I become a director, I want $60K minimum. How about that? I'm not accepting any director position for less than $60K a year. Someone else said, I got paid $8.50 in Texas and they wouldn't let me get more at all, even though I was a floater, assistant teacher for 2 3-year-olds and a lead teacher, a closer, and potty trained almost everyone in the classroom because they were low staff. This is where the whole you know, going above and beyond for what's in your job description is like the killer for everybody. Another person goes, I'm a teacher, I make $11. I'm in Texas. We'll be there 2 years in February, and I only make $8 an hour, and I won't likely be getting a raise anytime soon. I started at $7.50, and it only went up 50 cents in 2 years. She probably works for the same company I worked for, because that's their usual gimmick. Like, they'll try to tell you that they're giving you a raise and make it seem like the most amazing thing in the world, and it was a 50-cent pay increase, and you don't notice it because they tax your check ridiculously. All right, so that was all I really grabbed from that post. The post is still up and it's still going, but it really, y'all, when I tell a lot of you parents as well, please be very more conscious and mindful of your child's teachers. Like, this has come from someone who came up from $10.25 an hour. Especially in like these high cost states like New York, Florida, Cali, Texas. Please be mindful that we're not being paid anything. We are not being paid what these companies are really telling you. Like, my old job was telling the parents that they raised the tuition to pay us more. And I told parents, I did not see any of that money. I saw absolutely zilch of that money. So don't believe that hype when they tell you that they're raising your tuition to pay the teachers, because most of the time they're not. That money goes to building funds, maybe every now and then supplies. What else? Like, if the company has like a charity fund and stuff, like a lot of that money doesn't go to your child's teachers. So the next time you want to nag and complain and get a teacher in trouble, please be mindful that this human is working tooth and nail for only peanuts. I told y'all in a previous video, a lot of these companies didn't take care of their teachers during Corona. Y'all keep forgetting that. You're forgetting that a lot of these teachers who are working for $10, $11, $12, $14, $15 an hour were let go during COVID and not given severance packages. They were not taken care of. I wasn't paid for the last 2 weeks of the month that I was scheduled to work. I got paid a week and a half. I didn't get paid out my sick time either. Like, my sick time is still floating somewhere in space. Please be mindful when you go to complain about a teacher, if the complaint is something really petty at that you could be risking this person who's only making $12 an hour their livelihood. Be mindful when you want to be rude to a teacher that this person is working probably 60 hours during the week and they're only getting paid $13.50. Like are y'all getting what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know if you guys are really comprehending like what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's ridiculous. Like, I was really out here complaining about $18, guys. When I'm looking at that post and I realize there are people on that post that would probably kill to make $18 an hour at this point, coming up from $8. Like, I don't even think when I worked at Toys R Us paid me, I think, $9 something an hour, $10 maybe. Like, I don't even think they paid me $8. Like you gotta think about it in the times that we're into now. The field is severely underpaid for what a lot of these preschools want you to do, like curriculum wise. Like, if y'all look at some of these curriculums and what they want teachers to do, you would argue that the teachers need to be paid more. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it makes me so upset to hear and see people in my field not being paid what they deserve. Now, I'm not talking about these teachers that are there for the check, because it's a lot of y'all out there. it's a lot. Oh, it's a lot of y'all out there that don't need to be in a classroom, but you need the check, so that's what you're there for. I'm talking about the people who are genuinely dedicated to these babies. These people spend more time with your kids than they do with their own kids. And you mean to tell me they're only worth $10 an hour? And then y'all wonder why the field, a lot of people leave, and why the burnout is so real. Because you want to stress a teacher to work 40, 50, 60 hours sometimes. For what? And then you want to complain about overtime. You don't want to give time off. Like the place I'm at now, I don't know why I was slumming for the last year at another company when I could have been at this place that I'm currently at and could have been making what I'm making now with the time that I'm getting off. I don't even know what to tell y'all at this point, because it's so freaking mind-blowing how underpaid teachers are. And it hurts. It really hurts. Like, when I tell y'all, like, my heart sank reading a lot of those comments, and I reacted to every comment, and I just put an angry emoji because it was making me so mad to see that, and to know that was me 10 years ago. 10, we're not talking last year, we're talking 10 years ago, a decade ago. I was making that much. And it took me 10 years to get to where I'm at now, to get the pay that I get. And I don't even think I'm really being paid what I deserve, but it's a huge step from what the last place was giving me. The last place was giving me $19.50 with no benefits, 10 freaking PTO days combined as sick and vacation, which I didn't even know that was a thing, and a headache. That was it. That job was cool for like maybe the first month, and then shit got real critical real fast. But it hurt. It really hurt me to see what a lot of these teachers are going through, and nobody really cares except other teachers, which, as I stated on somebody else's Instagram, like, teachers, we got to band together. We got to band together when it comes to this vaccine that they're trying to push out. We have to come together when it comes to pay in the field. We have to come together when we're taking care of our mental health, because it seems like nobody else is going to do it. The parents aren't going to do it. The admin teams aren't going to do it. We as teachers have to do it. And we got to fend for ourselves at this point. And then you wonder why so many teachers have second jobs. Like, I had a boss ask me, why do I babysit? And I wanted to say, bitch, because you don't pay me enough. But I didn't say that to her. But I told her, I'm like, because what you're paying me is not enough to, finance the life that I live. Like, I have to pay rent. I have bills. I like makeup. Like, I like to go on trips. Like, what you're paying me is not financing this lifestyle. So the lifestyle had to be financed other ways. But just like I said, be mindful of your child's teachers. And also, when it comes to like birthdays and holiday gifts, please stop being cheap. Please stop giving nonsense gifts. I understand, you don't want to put a dollar sign on a holiday, but a candle is not helping me pay my bills. A sweater is not helping me pay my bills. You give me a gift card, it'll finance something in this house. You give me cash, it'll finance something in this house. So just like, and I'm not even saying like you don't got to give your child's teacher nothing crazy. $20 will change a person's whole day. Trust me, it'll change their whole day. $40 will change the whole, like, even $10. Like, it's not a lot, but it's something. It's a monetary gift that means something. So just be mindful of that, especially with the holidays coming up. And I know a lot of teachers did go back into the classrooms. Be mindful that your child's teacher is risking their life now. It sounds so dramatic, but it's the truth. We are now risking our lives to come to work to take care of your children because you have to go to work and you don't want to be with your child all day. Just be mindful of that. That we're risking getting sick or bringing something back to our families for your child. To give your child some type of normalcy, to give your child some type of consistency and routine. Please be mindful of that when the holidays roll around. I don't got nothing else to say. I don't. Because my heart is breaking as I'm doing this video. So, thank you guys, and I will catch you in the next one.